Welcome to the MTB live show that isn't live. We have Andrew Flair here with us from the Googan Squad. Googan Squad super fan and new intern, Gavin.
Oh, I like this shirt.
Gavin actually showed up in this shirt for his first day of his internship, and we just thought it was so on the ball that we haven't let him change yet. He's
Don't let him change.
Every single day. It's been crazy. His mom had to come up and help him do laundry, and sent him to the big city. She sent him to the big city, and he went home for Memorial Day with just one dirty shirt, a whole bag of dirty underwear.
That's awesome. That's sweet.
So I guess we'll just start with, where have you been fishing lately? You been on any cool trips or anything?
Not really anything like out of the ordinary. Kind of been doing the same thing, like go to Nebraska for a few days and fish because they were spawning. So I was spending a lot of time up here. Going to Texas and fishing with the Googan Squad, obviously. I did go to Louisiana recently. I think that was last month, which was the first time I've ever done that. Red fishing and all that fun stuff. I don't know. That was kind of a whole new experience for me. And then it's coming up weekend going tarpon fishing. Whole squad is. Never done that before either. So. Yeah.
I've never fished for tarpon, but I heard they're crazy.
I've heard it's like crazy, yeah.
Yeah. They just let out like hundreds of yards of line, and you could just watch them jump and fight, and it's supposed to be fun, yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. So that's pretty much that. And I've got an international trip with Parrot coming up in like a week and a half that we're kind of keeping secret, but you know, that'll be fun. Yeah. It'll be good.
You kind of picked apart all the ponds and lakes within like a stone's throw of your guys' new house?
I've tried. I haven't done as good as what I probably should have. I fished a little bit, but I haven't, like, the public ponds that I found that are like just like really close, or just I at least maybe I'm just not good at fishing, but that I haven't been able to really catch a whole lot. Yeah. I have a whole bunch of subscribers though that are in the area that are trying to like help me out with ponds and stuff. So I've been kind of going fishing with different subscribers here and there to try to get a feel for which ponds are good and which ones aren't. But as far as like lakes go, I mean, Rob's been there for quite some time, so he's got the lakes figured out pretty decent.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, we both just got back from, we were all off here for Memorial Day for the long weekend. We just got back. We both took trips with our dads over the weekend. Yeah. It was kind of like an early Father's Day thing. Me and three of my buddies, we go up to like just north of Shasta by like Hat Creek and the McCloud River up in way northern California where I grew up. Okay. We go up there with our dads and we just camp out and fish up there. So that was fun. I haven't, like with living out here for the last few years. Yeah. So that was fun, but we just wanted to ask, like, for Father's Day come up, like, is that how you got started fishing? Or like, what are some cool memories of fishing with your dad? Yeah,
that's pretty much how I got started fishing. I started fishing when I was, as soon as I could pretty much hold a fishing rod with my dad, and we went out quite a bit, probably about every weekend or so, every other weekend. And then it kind of fell off a little bit in middle school. I wasn't like super into it, but I still fished like on the weekends and whatnot. And then in high school, I started like doing the competition stuff. So that's kind of like, it just kind of like went from like normal kid fishing, and then it kind of like stopped a little bit, and then went to high school, and then just kept on going. So that's kind of how I got started. But yeah, it's like fishing with my dad that's how I got started. It's got a lot of good memories doing that. And we went to Canada, I think when I was like 9 years old or 10. And that's when I caught like my first like big northern pike and big walleye and small. I think that's probably my first smallmouth and perch, and yeah, so cool. Definitely.
What you got? Is that how you got started?
Yeah, high school is when it took off for me too. My dad, he fishes tournaments, been doing that my whole life and before I was born and stuff, and he's a fisherman. And so like I was into like football and basketball, all that in elementary and junior high. Then high school hit, and after a couple of years, I'm like, I don't know, something clicked, and I just got into fishing, quit all the other sports, and I've been at it.
That's just like I was. I did a whole bunch of sports all growing up, and then like it like I said, it just clicked, and you're like, fishing's what I want to do, and you just kind of quit everything else and just go all in. That's what happened, yeah.
And it gets less cool once you turn like 14 to do like hang out with your dad every single day when you're like
you're kind of like, I want to go fishing with my buddies, and he's kind of like salty about it, and you got like this awkward transition of like trying not to like hurt his feelings, but at the same time like be with the cool kids. So,
yeah, that's why it was cool, because with my dad, he's like 2 or 3 times a year, but he wants to go for like 9 days at a time, and like
like big trips.
Shut the phone off, drive 6 hours away, and like and just fish and don't let anybody bother me. But then like when he gets home from work, I grew up like right by the Delta, Like, get home from work and get off school and have nothing to do and be like, hey, Dad, you want to go try to catch some fish in the Delta? I'd be like, no, I want to watch the Giants. I don't want to play.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to get up right now. In a month, that's all I'm going to do for 10 days. So like different fishing environments with your dad than with your buddies where you could just like send out a group text and get 9 people to want to go fishing. Like
that's right. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So one of the other things we want to do is like go over some of the cool stuff that's been happening in fishing lately. Okay. Some of the like viral videos or like cool things we've been seeing. One record that got broke in Pennsylvania last year, and we'll share the story here on the screen, or last month or only a couple weeks ago or something. Some dude caught a big Palomino trout. Those like golden, like
never even heard of it.
Trout. They look like a regular rainbow dipped in like starburst water. They're crazy, they're like crazy neon looking fish.
Yeah, actually, I might have seen it. Yeah.
Apparently, they were like a mutant of like somebody tried to make a weird fish and then like accidentally made it even weirder than they wanted.
Like science experiment gone wrong.
They're like a mutated fish that on accident somewhere in the East Coast. I don't know. Somebody's probably gonna tear this apart in the comments because it's probably not as like Spider-Man as I'm making it seem, but it was something weird happened to like make these fish become a thing. And some dude caught a huge one, and just even looking at it, it looked fake. But what's like a weird fish that you want to catch, or like a bucket list fish other than just like a huge muskie or something?
Bucket list fish. I do want to go up to, and I've been like trying to plan it, is go up to like Alaska and go for like salmon.
Yeah.
So that's like that's just something I've always thought, like herds, like an experience you just like have to go for. And like I don't really know if it's like king salmon or whatever kind of, like I just want to go catch salmon.
You just want to stand in a waterfall like a bear?
And I just want to like grab a salmon. Like I just want to catch a salmon
at the waterfall and see if one of them.
Yeah. Like I just want to go. I want to go like wading in the water and just catch a salmon. Yeah.
Speaking of wading, I don't know why it made me think of like noodling. I just see like all you.
Noodling? Oh yeah. I've got plans to do that pretty soon. Actually, I've got a spot in Kansas. Yeah, I've got a buddy that the river's too high right now. Otherwise, I would have probably already done it this year. But he's got some sweet spots. I just saw an article on Facebook about a dude who got bit by like a cottonmouth or something snake. Almost lost his hand noodling. So kind of gives me confidence in going in to do that.
Yeah. I ran into a snake while I was fishing last week. I just don't know like enough about them to be calm. Every snake I've ever seen, I just instantly in my head like, that's a rattlesnake. It's gonna bite me. I just like turned around to grab like a handful of sunflower seeds out of my bag or something like that, and all of a sudden it was just slithering it like near my bag. I just like flipped out and screamed, and my buddy's dad was like, "Oh, that's just a king snake," and I was like, "That doesn't mean anything to me."
That's still a snake. I don't care.
I don't know. That's still terrifying.
Yeah, definitely.
Are there any other like, I don't know if you have run-ins with any other animals, like if you go fishing like way out in the woods, you like run into snakes in Nebraska or anything?
No, you don't really. There's really no dangers here. I mean, there are dangers, but not really. I mean, tornadoes. Just watch out for those guys. They'll sneak up on you. Other than that, I mean, that's pretty much about it. Yeah. There's not. I don't think there's anything venomous around here.
Pissed off Husker fans on a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, exactly. Don't catch us on a bad day.
Off the road if they lose by double digits.
That's right.
Those are pretty scary. Like seeing snakes, and the only thing you really have to worry about in Chicago too is geese. But
I said we do have some of those. We've got a lot of those. They'll get pretty protective.
This is another great tip from my old man. If you keep some sour candy in your bag and you flip them to geese, they hate it and they all leave you alone.
No way.
I don't know if that's humane. I'm gonna have to Google that before I like post this.
Oh gosh.
They like can't digest it, or somebody actually like gets pissy about that. But yeah, you flip them like a Shock Tart or a Sour Patch Kid or something like that. They make a crazy noise. They make a crazy noise and they don't come back.
The real question is, who discovered that?
I think my dad told me on accident one time. He just was like, they were eating.
Oh, okay.
Like, somebody near him at a pond was just like feeding him bread, and he was getting pissed off, and he was just like, because they wouldn't leave. And he was like, here, eat one of these. And he had like a Sour Patch Kid or something like that, and they just started like freaking out. They were like, they didn't want what I was eating. And
I'm gonna have to go try it now. Like that's the one I'm gonna go outside tonight and go try. Just find a goose and start throwing sour things at it and see what happens. That's so crazy.
All right, next story we had. I don't know if you saw the guy in Australia where the great white jumped on his boat.
No, I didn't.
Great white shark. It was on like Nat Geo or something that we saw it.
Yeah.
But like, dude didn't have any footage. He just like posted a picture of like a dead great white on his boat and was like, "Oh, an 8-foot great white shark just jumped onto my boat." We'll post all this on here too. But I had to call BS like immediately.
Yeah. What?
Maybe it's just the angler in me, but like I don't believe half the people. If I turn around for 2 seconds and walk back and say, "Did you catch anything?" and you say yes, I'm still probably not gonna believe you. So if you tell me a great white shark like jumped on your boat.
Huh.
Let me see here.
So he just jumped on his boat.
Yeah. I'm reading the excerpt here from Nat Geo. He was fishing for snapper when a blur flew about 4 feet over the boat. The shark's pectoral fin hit his forearm and knocked him to his hands and knees. And he was just like face to face with the shark and was like, "I guess I'll just like hide until it died."
What?
Up top.
Here's a quote from the dude. "There I was on all fours, and he's looking at me, and I'm looking at him. Then he started to do the dance around and shake, and I couldn't get out quick enough onto the gunnel."
Yeah, the shark weighed 440 pounds, was almost 9 feet in length. Okay, enough details because he's obviously lying. The point of the point of the story of whatever shark Manti Te'o claims jumped on his boat. Which Googan squad member do you think fibs the most?
Fibs? Ooh.
You guys obviously have your GoPros on a little too often to like really lie, but like
see, it's the thing is like we can't like we can't BS about anything. It's everything we film everything.
Yeah. Let's say, all right, just hypothetically, then you're at a tournament, no GoPros allowed. You're on an honor system tournament. You get back to the dock, and everybody says they did well. Who are you least likely to believe?
Probably Perrick, because he's the most competitive, and he would. If I was like, I had 17.5 pounds, he'd be like, "Yeah, I had 17.6."
Yeah, and
that's just him.
Yeah. He'd wait until the end. He'd be like, "No, you go first, and then I'll tell you."
That's exactly right. He would say, "You go first." No, you go first. You go first. I don't have that much. You go first.
20 pounds.
Oh, actually, I beat you surprisingly.
Yeah, you got 20. That's crazy because I had exactly 20.1. So you.
Yeah, that's Perrick for you. Yeah, definitely.
Who's the messiest roommate to live with?
Jon, for sure, hands down.
Yeah, that's actually. I've never lived or worked with any of you other guys, but I shared a desk with Jon for a little bit, and there was just
I feel bad for you.
Like Funyuns and
just
all over the place. And
takes
everything out of his pocket right when he said we shared like a tiny desk.
Yeah,
he could sit down and like empty his wallet and his phone and his camera.
So funny. It's exactly what he does at home. It's just like stuff's everywhere. Yeah,
instantly. Yeah,
we've got like a little drop
walk in
right
with
by the front door that's got like. Just like kind of like a little hole in the wall where you could like maybe put your keys and whatever, and it's just like Jon stuff's just everywhere. Yeah. Just walks in, throws it. Yeah, that's exactly right. Oh yeah, that's JB.
Bags of Lay's and.
Yep.
Yeah, I told Gavin, we might be messing with them a lot this summer, but our last intern was Jon B. So. Yeah, you might go on to be the 4th best fisherman in the house one day too.
That's right.
All right. Next one here. So we went to the Classic this year.
Yeah.
We saw you guys there. Mm-hmm. I hadn't been to like a huge tournament like that. I'd only been to like local tournaments and little things around there. One thing that like blew my mind was the presentation that they put on at those huge tournaments with like these huge boats and sick trucks. And it was in an arena. They had like concession stands open. But one thing that was like totally caught me off guard was the walk-up songs. I was just like, first of all, why are you having a walk-up song during the weigh-in? Like you already did the like athletic part of the day. You're getting all hyped to be like, okay, and then
here it is. Yeah.
9 pounds. Now I take a nap. Like, I don't know why you need to like get hyped for that, but we were talking about it in the office and had some like pretty funny ideas. If you were in the Classic, you're riding up on your boat, what's your walk-up song?
Oh gosh, you put me on the spot. What would I pick?
We'll spit ours while you think. Because mine was an easy one for me. I played basketball in high school, and we ran out of the tunnel to Intergalactic by the Beastie Boys.
Okay.
And it was just lit every time. It was perfect. That was a good one. What'd you come up with, Gavin?
Man, I think I had one the other day, and I've forgotten it.
We had some token, like, Eye of the Tiger and, like, Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, I was going to say, I that's what came to – that's so, like, I don't know. That's It's not really original, but I was thinking, yeah, Eye of the Tiger, something kind of funny like that. Something like that's like serious, but it's like kind of funny because you're bass fishing. It's not,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
you're not about to like go square up with Floyd Mayweather. Like you're gonna hold up some fish.
Yeah, there were some pretty funny ones there too. It was like a lot of country music.
Yeah. And then, you just have like this random like '90s hip hop song, like just like out of nowhere, just like who is
really
that?
catch you off guard.
Like, who picked that? Yeah.
Country, and then like Bone Thugs, or like random like Lil Scrappy from 2004. You're like, whoa, dude, relax.
Yeah.
not gonna fish anywhere near that guy tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man.
All right, what else do we have here? Oh, we forgot to tell you at the beginning, we saw you cross 300,000 subscribers.
Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
When did you get some, like, we were just screwing around on Instagram the other day and saw like fan pages and like knockoff accounts and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. What like subscriber count were you at when you started noticing stuff like that popping up? Because we get them for Mystery Tackle Box too, like probably a year ago when we were like 70,000 or something like that. We would have like people like screenshotting stuff from other Mystery Tackle Box accounts that are just like random people that I don't know why you would do that. Like fan pages are cool, but like why you would waste your time making.
So like people that like would impersonate my page type thing.
Yeah. Do you have some of those that pop up around Instagram?
I don't like, honestly, I don't spend enough time on there to probably like find those, but I remember I used to, like, I would probably have like between probably 50 and 100,000 followers on Instagram, and I would see those. It would be like whatever. And I used to, that was before I got verified. So that's probably why I haven't really seen them a lot, because it's just, most people would probably comment like, this person's impersonating. Well, I'm verified now. So it's like, it kind of takes the whole question out of it. Yeah. But there would be like a couple of them that would do that. And I'm just like, what? Like, I don't understand what the whole point of that is, but you know, whatever floats your boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the fan ones though are funny. There's a ton of Googan Squad memes.
Yeah, we were scrolling.
It is unreal how funny they are.
Some people are just so funny and like
these people are like genuinely talented at like coming up with
very creative
things.
Very creative people. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny. I like all of a sudden like I'll randomly like get tagged in one and I look at it and just like die laughing. I'm like, how did you just think of that?
Like too much to keep up with in the mentions to like look at all of them, but every once in a while you strike gold.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We'll post some of our favorite ones on here. We'll scatter some of those in here.
Most of them are just of Perrick.
Yeah, there's more like Perrick memes page.
Yeah, just Perrick memes is just it's crazy.
Yeah, that's another like weird thing that we were talking about earlier on our Instagram is people's names always crack me up when you get like people that are like big Perrick fans and they're just like lettuce boy and like stuff because then they come to our page and ask us like serious questions and we
like how can we take you serious?
And you have to tag them in the answer.
So it's like, man,
you have to be like, people will be like, oh, we're like I lost the tracking to my box, and we'll have to be like, okay, we'll just shoot a reply over to CS, comma Big Bass Daddy 69, like
just like those random things.
Like, you don't make that your email.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you have to put that at the top of your resume one day. It's always hilarious stuff like Googan Squad all day 420. You're like, dude, don't do that. Like you can't do that. You have to tell your mom your email address one day.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man.
11-pounder PB.
Oh yeah, one guy's he emailed us a while ago, just like sending us some pictures of stuff, and it was like 11-pound pb@gmail.com, and we're like, dude, you committed way too early. Like, what are you?
What are you gonna do if you break that? Like,
yeah, you're gonna have to learn how to forward all your mail
to a new email address.
He's just a pan fisherman now, I guess. He's retired. Cool. All right. I think we only got one more question here. Probably a tough one. Might be an easy one. If you were to only be able to fish one lake ever again, where'd you go?
I've only actually been to this lake once. Well, I've been there for a couple of days, but I went there like one time in high school. It's for the national championship. But I know it's like one of those lakes you can do pretty much every technique. It just depends on the time of the year. Kentucky Lake, because like Kentucky Lake in the spring, you go catch them shallow. You can frog fish, you can flip and pitch, stuff I love to do. But then in the summer, you can go catch them on ledges and whatever. And then in the winter, you catch them on jig and spoon. So it's kind of like if I like plant myself in one area, it would be there because I could basically fish all 4 seasons in one lake without having to be like in Nebraska. I'd be ice fishing half the time or whatever. Or like Okeechobee's cool, but like you can only throw a swim bait and flip mats for so long, you know.
Yeah.
So you can pretty much do anything you want on Kentucky Lake. Because I actually looked at going to college out there to Bethel. Because I was like in my head, I was like, because that's when I wanted to be like a pro fisherman, whatever tournament guy, and I was like, I need to go somewhere that like I can fish year round and learn every technique well if I want to compete on the circuit because they go everywhere. Right. And I did a lot of research, and basically Kentucky Lake was the lake that was like, and in the surrounding lakes, of course, but Kentucky Lake was the lake where you can pretty much learn every technique you want to know on that lake. It just depends on the time of the year. That would probably be the lake.
There's not a lot, but there's some smallmouths in there too, so you can catch.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know there's smallies in there, but yeah. So that's probably. I mean, it probably wouldn't be like. I probably wouldn't be too happy with myself if I had to fish it all the time. But if I had to, that would be my choice. Yeah.
Are you glad that you're done being forced to ice fish for 4 months a year now?
Like I get super like I think about it now. I'm like, oh, this pond would be so sick to ice fish. But then ice fishing season comes, so I'm like, it'd be so sick to throw a frog right now. Like it's just I'm never happy. Like I mean, obviously I'm happier now than it is ice fishing. And after I fell through the one time, I was just kind of fed up with it because I was towards the end of the season. And I was like, the day I fell through, I was just kind of like,
I don't think I'll ever get used to it. I grew up in California. The first time I ever ice fished was with John, and he was like, "Oh, don't worry about it." You could hear like sheets of ice underneath.
Yeah, cracking and
that terrified me. I took like one step and heard it, and I turned back around, and he was like, "Oh, don't worry about it." But then like later in the day, it was like cracking more, and he gave me spikes.
Yeah.
And he was like, "You know what? Actually, hold on to these." And I was like, "You know what? Actually, I'm just going to be done."
Yeah, it's not
really
worth
catching another bluegill.
No, exactly. Like ice fishing's fun, but it's one of those things like if I'm not catching fish, I'm not having fun. But like I could go like regular bass fishing and I catch fish, and I'm like, oh, I mean, whatever. It's fishing. It's fun. I'm out on the boat, hanging out with buddies. But like ice fishing, it's like, okay, I need to catch fish, or I'm not going to be happy.
Yeah. But that day we went, John caught a muskie on a tip up, which was awesome.
Yeah, that's always fun. Yeah,
and that was like 40 minutes into being there, and we were catching a few other like little bluegill and stuff here and there, so it was fun. And then when it cooled off, I was like, okay, like they're not biting, and I'm bored and freezing.
Yeah. Like, what are you gonna do? I sit there on my phone. I'm sitting there like playing. I'm like, what am I doing? I'm literally on Facebook right now, just like ice fishing. It doesn't make any sense.
When the bite was already done, and I wasn't catching anything. I was bored. I was freezing cold. And then he was like, "Oh, you know what? Actually, you should probably grab these spikes just in case." I was like, "All right, that's great."
Yeah, I call it quits here.
I'm gonna go back and play the Cabela's app or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Watch fishing videos on YouTube. And yeah,
definitely. Cool. All right, I think that's all we got. We'll probably take some fan questions next time. People can leave those in the comments, and guys got going on that you want to talk about here? Anything you got going on soon you want anybody to look out for?
No, like I said, I've got an international trip that'll be insane. If we make it back alive, it'll be somewhat a surprise. So yeah, I mean, be on the lookout for some not in the United States videos, I guess.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching, everybody. Flair, send me one of those Flair hats, please.
Got you. I got you in the mail right now.
I'll take one too.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I got you. I got both of you guys.
All right. We will see you guys later.
See ya.